Hello and welcome to this live, that's right, like the sign says, there it is, live YouTube English lesson. Thank you so much for joining me here today. I'm Michael, and this is Happy English. Actually, this here is Happy English, and I am so glad that you've decided to join me here today. Excuse me. See, now you know that it's live. As the teacher battles with his throat. Just 1 second. Cup of Joe will help. Alrighty. For today's live English lesson, we're going to cover 3 different points. First of all, I have a pronunciation point that I want to show you. And then we're going to move on to an important grammar point, and then a couple of idioms. But first, first, Auricola. This live English lesson is brought to you by Ricola. No, actually it's not, but for some reason it's very dry in my office. And I'm going to need a Ricola, and I'm sure that's going to look awesome on the camera live. All right, well, thank you for joining me today. Our first point is a pronunciation point, and I want to talk about the usual natural pronunciation of and of, right? So first off, let's take a look at the natural pronunciation of and, A-N-D. What kind of music do you like, Michael? Well, of course, I like rock and roll, rock and roll, rock and roll. Usually in everyday spoken English, and is pronounced like an or just the N sound. So if I say that I like rock and roll, I would normally pronounce that as rock and roll, rock and roll. Soup and salad. For lunch, I had soup and salad, soup and salad. Salt and pepper. On my soup, I put some salt and pepper. So I had soup and salad and salt and pepper, salt and pepper. And the T at the end of salt and the ass sound at the beginning of and kind of blend together, so it sounds like salt and pepper, salt and pepper, salt and pepper. What did you have for breakfast? Oh, I had ham and eggs, ham and eggs, ham and eggs, ham and eggs, ham and eggs. I like fruit, and today I had an apple and an orange, an apple and an orange, an apple and an orange. We pronounce that an apple and an orange, an apple and an orange. And so an orange, the N at the an orange blends with the O, an orange. An apple and an orange, and an orange, an apple and an orange, and an orange. I had an apple and an orange. I had ham and eggs. I like salt and pepper. I had soup and salad. I like rock and roll. How about you? You like rock and roll? By the way, there's a chat box over here, okay? And if you have a question or you wanted to just say hi and tell me where you're from, why don't you put that in the chat box? I'm going to put a little hello. There we go. I'll start us off. Okay. So and generally sounds like an. The next one is of. A cup of coffee. The F in the word of is generally not pronounced because that causes the air to stop. Usually when Americans pronounce English, we don't like the flow of air to stop. So instead of saying, hello from Russia, wow, here's from Turkey, hi, thanks for joining us, guys. So instead of saying a cup of coffee with the stop, we pronounce of as a cup of coffee. I had a cup of coffee, a can of beer. After work, why don't we have a can of beer? A can of beer, a can of beer, a bag of chips. Sometimes I like to have a bag of chips. I watch TV. Box of cookies. You can have a bag of chips or a box of cookies. Hello to Brazil. Thanks for joining us. A glass of wine. Last night, it was my brother-in-law's birthday. We had a glass of wine. A glass of wine. And a piece of cheese. A piece of cheese. So, of sounds like a cup of coffee, a can of beer, bag of chips, a glass of wine, a piece of cheese. All right, so there's the two English pronunciation points. And sounds like an, and of sounds like a. Okay. The next point is during and while. Now, a lot of English learners have trouble using during and while because these words are kind of similar, but the way that we use them is different, right? So, first of all, let's take a look at during. We use during plus a noun. And that has to be a noun, not a gerund. So I can say, I don't use my cell phone during class. I don't use my cell phone during class. We don't watch TV during dinner. We don't watch TV during dinner. During his life, Edison created many useful products. During his life, Edison created many useful products. So, use during plus a noun. But be careful. We don't use during plus a time word. In other words, sometimes I hear people say, during Monday, I was very busy. But it's more natural to use the usual preposition for a day, which is on. On Monday, I was very busy. But during Monday sounds a little strange, right? So use during plus a noun. You can say things like during the day, during the meeting, during the class, or during my life. During this English lesson, I'm going to go turn off the heater. Second. That's how you know that this is a live event, coming to you live from New York City. All right, Sarah's here from Brazil. Scorching heat today. Haha, I think the temperature was about -6 Celsius here in New York. It is not scorching heat at all. All right, so we just talked about during. Nestor, hi, welcome, thanks for joining us. We just talked about during, let's talk about while. You can use while plus a gerund, right? You can say things like while driving, while working, while cleaning the house. Here are some other examples. Please don't drink while driving. And please don't text while driving either. That's kind of dangerous. While driving. I can't use my cell phone while studying. I can't use my cell phone while studying. While eating dinner, do you watch TV? What happened? Hey, what happened? Something happened here. Do not know. Where did my picture go? Something happened. Hey, can you guys see me or do you guys see the splash screen? That's a good question. YouTube is telling me if you can see me over here. Oh, there I am. All right, some technical difficulties. See, that's how you know that this is a live English lesson. All right, let's get back to the point. We use during plus a noun. During dinner, I don't use my cell phone. Okay? Then we use while plus a gerund. While eating, I don't use my cell phone. All right, and then there's one more, and that is while is used plus a subject and a verb. I can say, while I was eating lunch, I read my book. While I was eating lunch, I read my book. I listen to music while I'm doing my homework. I listen to music while I'm doing my homework. While eating dinner, I don't watch TV. So that's the three patterns. We use during plus a noun. During dinner, I don't watch TV. We use while plus a gerund. While watching TV, no. While eating dinner, I don't watch TV. We also use while plus a subject and verb or a sentence. While I'm having dinner, I don't watch TV. So that's the way that we use during and while. The meaning is basically the same, but the way that we use those two words is different. All right, great. Hello from Colombia. Sarah's here. A lot of people are here. Julio, thank you for joining us. Dr. Who, welcome. Thank you to everybody for joining this live event. And here's a little secret. Maybe it's not a secret now. We'll have another live English lesson. Check it out. Okay, so I want to talk about three idioms and slang phrases that we use to talk about the cold weather. And let me tell you something. It's really cold. It's freezing outside. It's freezing. Freezing. Basically, freezing is when the temperature reaches 0 degrees Celsius or 32 degrees Fahrenheit for people living here in the US. And we use the term it's freezing even when the temperature is not at 0 or below. Because in English, we tend to use some exaggeration to make our English sound more colorful. For example, the train was very crowded this morning. I might say, wow, there were 1 million people on the train this morning. It means that the train was very, very crowded this morning. It doesn't mean that there were exactly 1 million people. So we like to use that kind of exaggeration. So when the temperature feels really, really cold, we would say, it's freezing outside. It's freezing outside. Why don't we go into that cafe? It's freezing. It's freezing outside, so I put on a sweater this morning, even though it's kind of... how about by you? Is it freezing by you? Hi, Monica. Thanks for joining us today. Hello from Kiev. I'm sorry, I cannot read your name because it's written in an alphabet that I can read, but thank you for joining us. All righty, so it's freezing outside. That's the first expression. Next, and this is one of my favorite idioms, when hell freezes over. When hell freezes over. Hell, in the Christian religion, is a very, very hot place that your soul goes to after you die if you've been a bad person. If you've been a bad person here on earth, after you die, your soul will go to hell, which is basically the opposite of heaven. And our image of hell is a very, very hot place with fire everywhere, and it's burning, and it's very, very hot. And so we have this expression, when hell freezes over. Because hell is such a hot place, it's probably not likely, or never will hell freeze over. So the idiom, when hell freezes over, means never. Never. When hell freezes over. That was a terrible restaurant. The waiter was rude and the food was awful. I will go back there when hell freezes over. I'll go back there when hell freezes over. That's a good cup of joe. A cup of joe. Yeah, you know, my boss is not such a nice guy. In fact, he would probably give you a day off when hell freezes over. He would give you a day off when hell freezes over. It means he'll probably never give you a day off. And I'll go back to that restaurant when hell freezes over. Means I'll never go back to that ever. How about you? Is there some place that you'll go back to when hell freezes over? You can leave a comment if you like. Donnie D says it's -9 in Kiev. Wow, -9. Ouch. And I guess you guys have a lot of snow there too. That's my image over there. All right. The last idiom that I want to share with you today is to put something on ice. Put something on ice. If you have some food that you want to keep for a long time, but you haven't decided when you want to use it, you might put that food in the freezer. And you put it in the freezer to keep it for a long time. When you go to the fish market, you see fish that are on ice. When the fish are on ice, they can stay fresh for a long time. So we have an idiom to put something on ice. If you put something on ice, like plan or a trip someplace or somewhere that you want to go, if you put that on ice, it means you postpone that for an indefinite amount of time. Sorry, 1 second. Hi. Oh, that's much better. See, now you know that this is actually a live event because things like that get stuck in the teacher's throat. So when you put something on ice, you postpone it indefinitely. You don't know when that's going to happen. I could say I'm very busy in the office these days, so I put my vacation plans on ice. I put my vacation plans on ice. It means I don't know when I'm going to be taking a vacation. Here's another example. The boss said that we really don't have a lot of money in the budget, so the plans to open a branch office in Rome were put on ice. The plans to open a branch office in Rome were put on ice. The plans were put on ice. In other words, those plans were postponed indefinitely. Okay? So those are the three idioms. To put something on ice means to postpone it, and we don't really know when it's going to happen. When hell freezes over means never. And it's freezing outside means it's really cold. Even if the temperature is slightly above zero, we would say that it's freezing outside. All right, and then just to sum up what we talked about earlier today, at the beginning of this lesson, we talked about during and while. You can use during plus a noun. During dinner, I don't use my cell phone. While works plus a gerund. While eating, I don't watch television. Or you can use while plus a subject and a verb. While eating dinner, I don't watch TV. Then we took a look at the pronunciation of and of. Rock and roll, salt and pepper, soup and salad, ham and eggs, an apple and an orange. And then we looked at the pronunciation of, a cup of coffee. Here's a can of beer, a glass of wine, a box of cookies, a piece of cheese, and a bag of chips. So that's the usual pronunciation of and. And I think, who's here? Antoinetta from Bulgaria. Hi, wow, from Hungary is here. Everyone is here today. That's awesome. Listen, thank you guys for joining me for today's live, very live, YouTube lesson. And if you'd like to get more English lessons, you can just go to myhappyenglish.com, which is down there, and I've got over 1,000 free English lessons right there for you guys, including 420 podcasts. By the way, we'll have another live English lesson tomorrow. That's going to be on Tuesday. And another brand new YouTube video is coming out on Thursday. And then another brand new Happy English podcast is coming out on Friday. So I have a lot of free English lessons in video and in podcasts for you guys. And hey, thank you guys so much for joining me today. Where's the button? There's the button. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. I had a great time, and it was nice to see you guys here. And hey, tell your friends about Happy English, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel. And if your friends haven't subscribed yet, why don't you have them subscribe too? That would be awesome. All right. Thank you so much for watching today, and I'll see you next time right here, Happy English. Bye, guys.